So once we've got around all our chord types and we start to bring them into our daily practice, and don't forget to practice them over the whole range of the instrument as well, we can start to use them to create some improvisation. So to begin with, it might be an idea just to use those 4 notes in free time, not in a groove, but just in a free improvisation. So if I take the 4 notes of the B flat concert major 7th, I might just try and create some melody in free time. Etc. So I can just let phrases evolve and let the melody unfold. Notice that I didn't start on the root. There's a tendency sometimes when we're thinking about chords to always start on the root and spell the chord up from the root. We don't have to do that, and it's good to not start on the root. So start on different notes of the chord when you're starting to use these notes to improvise and to create your own melody. So why don't you have a go now? Just take those 4 notes of the B flat concert major 7th, which for B flat instruments is C major 7th, and for E flat instruments is G major 7th. Just take those notes and have a go, pause the video, and have a go at creating some melody in free time. Hopefully you've created some melodies that you like, and now we're going to add some time to that. So I'll demonstrate this. I'm going to play an improvisation now based just on the notes of the B flat major 7th on a Latin groove that just goes around that chord. So there we are, and if you just notice a few things about that, I was playing generally in phrases, so I was putting some space between each phrase to make our phrases coherent and to give yourself time to think about what you're going to do next in between phrases. I was providing some contrast in rhythm between quaver movement, faster movement, and longer note values, slower movement. And I was also having a few passages of repeating notes where we just groove on one note. And it's quite nice to do that, just to take a note and set it against the groove, syncopate it, play with the groove, and just groove around on one note. So we had 3 sort of things that were going on there. Again, I was not always starting phrases on the root. In fact, I was trying not to always start phrases on the root. And sometimes fitting bits of sequence in there as well. So if you can hear a shape moving through the chord, you could try and move it through another part of the chord. So sequencing shapes through just the 4 notes of the chord. Once we've done something in one key, as I said before, it's important to do it in other keys. So let's take our major 7th chord shape, and let's transpose it from B flat up to concert C. So for the B flat instruments, that's D, and for the E flat instruments, that's A. So let's play our chord shape now in that key. So remember the major triad first, and then add the major seventh to it. So we're going to start there, and what we're going to do is transpose downwards in tones. So in I'll speak in concert C for now, and you can transpose it or look at the sheet to put it into your own key. So from C, we're going to go from C major seventh to B flat major seventh to A flat major seventh to G flat or F sharp major seventh to E major seventh to D major seventh and back to C again. So those are the 6 keys we're going to do, and what I would suggest you do first is to play the chord shape in each of those keys. So starting with C, down a tone, down another tone, so we've covered those 6 keys. Then with the backing track, let's firstly we'll play the chords along with the backing track again, and then we'll do some improvisation based on that chord sequence.
Hi everyone, and thank you for joining us on our JazzFix YouTube channel. Could I just take a few seconds of your time to ask you to like and subscribe to our channel so that we can keep uploading footage for you. If you're enjoying this film, you might want to go over to www.thejazzfix.com. There you can see the rest of this film along with 200 hours of other jazz educational footage. If you decide to become a member, you can also access discounts on all of our face-to-face courses and events, along with a new hour of footage uploaded every month. Thanks for listening. Let's get back to the film.
So you can hear there we got through the 6 keys, and I was experimenting with different ways of improvising on those. So sometimes spelling the chord out, sometimes taking a note from the chord, sometimes taking a couple of notes from the chord, moving in parallel down with the chord sequence, and sometimes going in opposite way to the chord sequence, in contrary motion. So just experimenting, just feeling through the sequence there. You could break that down further. You could break that down into 2 keys. You could just loop 2 keys together, then add another one to that. So you can use that in lots of different ways. Don't feel that you have to do all 6 keys at once. And starting just by spelling out the chord as I did there. Once you've done those 6 keys, of course, you have another 6 keys to do. So you can transpose the little sequence upper semitone and do the other 6 keys to cover all 12 keys. So that's just an example of doing that with major 7th chord types. Of course, you can do that little exercise with all sorts of the other chord types that we used. And we'll have a look at some of that in the next video.